back at the ranch for another honing session on this lovely Heljestrand. Put it over there. Move my penguins. Got a J-Nat. Got a couple of Naguras. Alright. Tenu, Majiro. Gonna give them a little dunk. And make this a little slip proof. Well, not entirely slip proof, but better than without it. Anyway, so here we go. Well, that's got some crap on it. Better. Okay. So we have done Botan, and now here we are. We're going to start with, generally speaking, there are no grit numbers assigned to Nagura, but in this grand scheme of things, the progression would be Botan, Tenu, Majiro, Koma, Tomo. That would be normal. Some people will toggle back and forth. Some people will skip one. Someone may tell you, oh, my Majiro is coarser than my Tenu. And maybe they got a jacked up stone. Maybe they haven't really investigated it. Maybe, you know, one is faster than the other, so one seems finer when they're just not taking the slurry to its full extent. Hard to say, but basically the theory is, you know, Botan, Tenu, Majiro, Koma. That would be like normal, all right? I'm going to keep that a little wet, but I don't want it to soak. Give this another second in here rather. Stone's looking good. You want a decent amount of slurry. You don't want the slurry to be thick. There's a difference between density and volume. Try and keep the two concepts separate. Some people tell you, oh, you don't need a lot of slurry. Well, you need a good amount because this is not the fastest abrasive in the world, and you have work to do. So you want to do all the work. You want to get all the work done as well as possible. And you want to have enough slurry to make sure that you have consistent abrasion from heel to toe, right? This isn't going to need a lot of work. The earlier work on synth, followed up by a really good Botan session, has really put this edge in a really good place. You know, people talk about, oh, why does it take so long for you to hone a blade? So-and-so hones in like, you know, whatever. It takes as long as it takes. I'm not here to cut corners. I don't understand people who buy stones and don't want to use them. I don't understand owning hones and being like, well, I only want to do 5 passes. I don't understand wanting to do things halfway or half-assed. The whole reason I got into honing, well, was because I wanted to use a straight. I didn't want to use a straight that I couldn't sharpen myself. So I wanted to have that aesthetic down. Eventually got into J-Nats. And I found this method to be relaxing and satisfying. You know, when I hone like I'm not on camera, things do go a lot faster, but it's still not fast. I'm not into the speed honing bullshit. I can manage a shave off a bevel setter. So, you know, I could stay there, but I don't. I work into refinement. I want to bring the edge to, you know, next level. That's why I'm here. This is why I buy these stones. This is why I use them. J-nets aren't magical. They're pretty slow in the scheme of things, you know, compared to a synth. Someone recently mentioned just, you know, doing a few passes to, you know, bump an edge. Like, why? You know, if I'm going to finish on Tomo Slurry, it takes a little bit, you know? It's not a few passes. There's a bunch of passes. And sometimes people just stay, you know, sometimes people just say stuff because they're trying to create content, you know, for the internet, because they care more about creating content than anything else. It's the problem with social media. It's not very social. It's very ego. You're like, what are you talking about, Keith? You have a channel, you make videos. Yeah, I do. You know, I don't produce one every 15 minutes. I'm not, you know, out here telling people, oh, you got to do things ABC 1, 2, 3. I'm just showing people how I do stuff. Take it or leave it. You should know that I shave very well. And everything I do show, well, I kind of checked it out first, right? So I'm not just making this up as I go along. It's not like a hot new idea I came up with yesterday. So in case you're wondering, yeah, that was it for Tenju. I don't need any more. That particular Tenju is a little softer, a little pastier. It's also pretty fast. This guy, this Majiro, you see it has nice stamp here. That's a Daiju. You can interpret that a few ways. When you see it like this, you're looking at the stone is pretty much all white and going to be very square. You can also see it on a really large stone. It means something else. The funny thing about this world is sometimes things mean multiple things. Anyway, so this is, you know, white eye, pure white eye Majiro. It's a very old piece. Comes from the original tunnels back in the day. I'm still doing my roll. A little harder to see here. So back to the honing thing. And speed and time. I'm not into a lot of the pomp and circumstance bullshit that people turn this hobby into. I just like to shave. All this is, by the way, is shaving. We're taking hair off our face. Trying to make more out of it than that is kind of dumb, don't you think? People ask why I don't make more videos. I'm like, well, there really isn't that much to make videos out of. Trying to make more out of this than it really is, that's kind of like... it's kind of dumb. It's counterproductive. I really wish people would go back to keeping it simple. Every day I see it's like a new thing. It's like, oh, face feel. You want better face feel? Set your bevel. Set your bevel well. A well set bevel is going to bring you a smooth edge. Yeah, you have to do the rest of the work, but if you don't set your bevel right, you're never going to have a smooth edge. You can sit around and talk to me all you want about who makes the best black Arkansas, or, what paste, or how many passes, or your speed honing bullshit, or whatever else, right? Set the bevel. Stick to basics, learn to set the bevel. If you just said to yourself, oh, my bevel setting skills are fine, I would suggest rethinking that, because we can always improve. So this one's going to be done. I have a lot of grabbiness, if you want to call it that, on the stone. It's very difficult to keep a smooth stroke. I'm doing the best I can without using undue force and pressure. I've learned that when I get grabby, that I just go with it. Trying to fight against it means I have to abdicate my position on pressure. That's it. I'd keep going, but I wouldn't gain any more. Slurry's done, and that's all we have for today. So here's a couple of penguins. Alright, so this is like what, the 4th or 5th installment. Next step, you probably know, it's going to be Coma and then Tomo. I'll do them the same. I'll do them at the same time, and then we'll call it a wrap. Blade will be done. Alright, I'm having a blast honing this blade. I'm taking it slow because I like to enjoy things. I could be doing it faster, I could be done already, but what's the point? Anyway, until next time, take care. Talk to you soon.